And Jorgensen at the back. They're all nodding dogs there. And Pogačar goes at this hill again. Still 620 metres for these riders to endure. Not sure Jorgensen can handle too much more of this, but his teammate Wout van Aert is still attached to the back wheel of the yellow jersey. 500 metres more. Ballerini is starting to become detached, and then there were two. Trentin labours. Mohoric is out of it. Here comes Wout van Aert. Wout van Aert off the wheel. He's got the strength. He stomps on the pedals. It's a classics finish here for the Belgian rider, and only Pogačar can handle it. Ballerini tries to respond, but even Pogačar now is under a little bit of pressure. Wout van Aert is going to glory potentially. Has he got the gap? Has he got enough of a gap? Inside the final couple of 100 metres, and Wout van Aert has put a bit of daylight between the rest. And he recognised that he had more on the wheel and everyone else eliminated, and Wout van Aert has flown the coop.
Incredible effort here from Wout van Aert. Not many riders can ride Tadej Pogačar off the wheel. We're expecting Pogačar to go the whole way over the top. He just has to make sure that he stays upright. But Wout van Aert put himself right in the boxing here to take this stage. Is there a chance for anybody to come back to him? Well, he doesn't want anybody to come back, but he just has to make sure that he doesn't take big risks in this descent.
9 stage victories in Tour de France in his career, and Wout van Aert potentially going to a 10th. Needs to get down this treacherous descent here onto the smooth tarmac. He'll be grateful for that, but still plenty of other technical moments between now and the finish line. 5.5 kilometres. And he's got what he wanted. He's got the gap. The winner, of course, of the victory on the Champs-Élysées back in 2021. Wout van Aert did it in altogether different circumstances then. A solo ride to glory on the Champs-Élysées. Well, that's something that you would barely even have been able to dream of until very recently.
Pogačar's only 6 seconds, so any hesitation here, and Pogačar could come back. Still 5 kilometres to go to the finish, but can you believe that Visma Bike have not had a stage win in this year's tour, and Wout van Aert leaving it very, very late if he's going to pull this one off.
Inside 5 to go. Wout van Aert cruising at 55 kilometres and more. Looking to improve on his best finish in this year's Tour de France of 2nd.
I'm always forgetting Simon Yates, who's won a stage, so they're slim pickings, but this would be the stage that they really need. The 2nd overall. Yates a nice stage win all that time ago, but Pogačar losing even more time. I don't think he's coming back.
That's done. Is it done? I mean, is there any way
looks like it,
that Tadej Pogačar can get back on one-on-one? And Pogačar, in actual fact, looks like he's dropping into the clutches of the nearest pursuers, led by Matej Mohoric almost inevitably on the descent. Jorgensen and Ballerini still involved. A weary Matteo Trentin has been detached, but Tadej Pogačar, frustratingly for him, as things currently stand, is riding into a sprint finish for 2nd position on the stage. Nonetheless, glorious overall victory to be celebrated, the 4th of his career. And Wout van Aert is going to finish Tour de France 2025 with a flourish. 3K to go. Mohoric refuses to resist. And Ballerini links up as well, so it's a 4-way effort. And is there enough strength potentially to get them back on terms? Well, they need to close about 4 seconds a kilometre. Not the work of a moment against this man. Brief relief from the effort for Wout van Aert. And this, as we've seen in the past, is a really, really slow and demanding left turn. He has the cushion of 13 seconds. He could take that one relatively gingerly. Behind Mohoric, I think he's going to throw himself at it. Up to 16 seconds, but that will yo-yo a little bit as the groups are in different situations relative. Ballerini that leads the group. in pursuit after 20 seconds. Now we'll see how it resets, but down to the final 2.5 kilometres, and for Wout van Aert, for whom it's been a funny old year really, and he hasn't had anything like the success that he's used to. Some suggesting in Belgium, disquieting murmurs from the cognoscenti and the cafes and bars all around Flanders and beyond, that maybe Wout van Aert was his skills diminishing somewhat, but it's anything but.
Well, this is a performance up there with the best. I've seen Wout van Aert, the way he managed to drop Pogacar. We were talking about Pogacar trying to drop everybody, and let alone Wout van Aert dropping everybody himself, even Pogacar. This is, you know, up there with some of the best performances I've seen Wout van Aert do.
Steals a little look over his shoulder. He's entitled to that. He's got the advantage. 1,500 metres remaining. No time just yet to be thinking about composing victory speeches. He won't be stopping to lift the bike over his head like his fellow countryman Remco Evenepoel in taking the glory in the Olympics last year, as Tadej Pogacar leaves it up to the rest. If it's not going to be victory, perhaps he's not so concerned about a sprint for second. An unusual scenario really, as Tadej Pogacar just eases off, maybe just to savour the moment of his fourth overall victory. Under the kite, Wout van Aert keeps on the gas. Makes his way through the final right-hander that will take him the 700 metres to the finish line. A familiar conclusion, albeit somewhat unusually, without the presence of most of the rest of the peloton. Well, the 30-year-old from Herentals now can start to settle in and enjoy the moment. 9 stage victories in 4 separate Tours de France to this moment. He has already tasted victory on the Champs-Élysées. I suspect this will be even taste sweeter, the sweetest victory of all perhaps. And Wout van Aert, a season that delivered a stage-winning success in Giro d'Italia. He's doubling up on Grand Tour stage victories for 2025. Now you can begin to compose. Now you can thank the team. You've delivered, and his teammate Matteo Jorgensen is trying to make it a 1-2, but it's Wout van Aert that takes glory on the Champs-Élysées. He completes the Tour de France stage wins, and now it's a second victory of the season and of this Tour de France for the Visma bike squad. Scrap for the minor honours behind. Looks as if it's going to Davide Ballerini. Pogacar joined up again, but we'll have to make do with 4th in the final stage. And nonetheless, imperious performance from the flying Slovenian. Glory once again in yellow for Tadej Pogacar after an absolutely sensational final stage. I've really enjoyed that one, I have to say, and I suspect the experiment bears repeating. Matteo Trentin also doing much to make this another thrilling edition. And Richard Plugge finally has something to celebrate from Tour de France 2025. Well, smiles and a great sense of relief for the riders as they'll make their way through to the finish line now, contesting for the minor positions. Deli and friends, lots of sprints to be won. UCI points still on offer. No glory 2 days in a row for Caden Groves, but he takes care of business by winning that one. Victor Campenaerts will celebrate this one long and hard. Went close to taking a win himself in the second place finish, but he's done a lot to help deliver glory for Wout van Aert. And Jorgensen, I think, as delighted as his teammate. Oh, Brian, that was a cracker.
It was a cracker, and a cracking performance by Wout van Aert. You know, we're looking at this man the whole time. You know, he wanted to try and win here. He tried hard. He animated the race. he made the splits in the end, but Wout van Aert was just on a different level from everybody else today. That was an incredible performance. Wout van Aert. That's Wout van Aert of old, and he's not that old, but that's Wout van Aert of old. That's what he's capable. Big power at the end. You know, saving the best till last. That was, you know, I was saying during the tour that Ben Healy's win was, you know, one of them.
He couldn't keep with Wout van Aert, and he sailed off to victory.
Donc les champions que nous appelons et l'accueil du public pour Wout van Aert qui remporte cette certaine lucidité. Voilà Bernard Thénet, l'homme du soir également qui nous rejoint. Vainqueur du Tour de France, c'était en 75 et en 77. On s'en souvient comme si c'était hier, et pourtant la première fois c'était il y a une cinquantaine d'années. Voilà, alors que tous les coureurs retrouvent également leur famille, leurs favoris. On a notre super combatif qui est là, Quinn Simmons, donc qui s'apprête lui aussi
Moment
protocolaire dans les minutes
of realization for Wout van Aert, standing up to celebrate across the finish line.
Notre maillot jaune. Il y aura ensuite une vidéo qui va remettre en place les meilleurs moments de ce Tour de France 2025, en espérant qu'on puisse évidemment donc avoir du temps pour tout faire, car vous savez que la priorité c'est le direct.
Age of the Tour de France.
Mark Cavendish gets 4 out of 4 wins in the last 4 years in Paris. Et comme l'an dernier, André Greipel, le champion d'Allemagne.
And this is the moment of goosebumps.
Quel hommage de la patrouille de France sur les Champs-Élysées.
Gritted teeth, flat out, full gas. Who's going to take the victory? Wow!
I can see the light.
So Bernard Thévenet comes up onto the podium with Christian Prudhomme in preparation for our presentations.
Et oui, le double vainqueur du Tour de France en 75 et 77 n'avait jamais reçu le vase de sève du président de la République qui lui est remis par Marie Barsac, ministre des Sports, de la Jeunesse et de la Vie associative, qui représente le président de la République, M. Emmanuel Macron, et de l'autre côté du podium, Christian Prudhomme, bien sûr, le directeur du Tour de France.
And that is because Thévenet didn't receive his vase in 1975. He comes up to collect his prize here, 50 years on.
Ce vase de sèvres remis, vous le savez, chaque année maintenant au vainqueur de l'étape.
And here, the moment for Wout van Aert, the 30-year-old from the Team Visma Lisa Bike team, 10th stage win at the Tour de France, but it's his first stage win at the Tour since winning stage 20 in 2022. He won stages, of course, at the Vuelta last year, but there was a real feeling after that terrible crash that he sustained and the injury to his knee that he would never be back to his best. Well, he proved everyone wrong at the Giro d'Italia, and he has proved everyone wrong once again here today. Wout van Aert victorious once again, but this one will be extra special on the Champs-Élysées in the Tour.
Le trophée Rouzi qui a été créé spécialement par la maison Dôme et façonné avec soin dans ses ateliers de Nancy. Dôme, cristallerie française emblématique qui incarne un héritage d'exception et un savoir-faire artisanal inégalé. Applaudissements pour Wout van Aert, mesdames, messieurs. Et merci à l'hôtel Hôtesse Continental pour féliciter avec
avec ce beau trophée d'or et cette médaille de vainqueur d'étape.
Well, this one announced down at the start as well. It's been a really special Tour de France for Ben Healy, most combative rider of this year's Tour de France, winner of stage 6, of course, to the Villers-Normandie, but also the achievements that he made by pulling on the yellow jersey, becoming the first yellow jersey wearer from Ireland for nearly 40 years. A wonderful moment for Ireland and for EF Education Easy Post.
Voilà, un super combatif élu à la fois par le grand public et par le jury compétent présidé par Thierry Gouvenou, donc directeur de l'épreuve. Bravo encore à Ben Healy et les applaudissements de notre public. Ben Healy qui évidemment a été l'un des hommes forts de ce Tour de France 2025 de cette 112e édition. On va rester évidemment scotché du côté de notre topper Nicolas qui nous dit absolument tout ce qui se passe du côté du podium protocolaire où on lisse, où on prépare les différents enjeux, les différentes remises. On devrait d'ici quelques instants retrouver donc le classement des équipes parrainées par Basic Fit.
Well, in the end, they may not have been able to conquer Tadej Pogacar and overcome Team UAE Emirates XRG, but Team Visma-Lease Bike are the best team at this year's Tour de France. And just moments after Wout van Aert picked up that stage win, there was also a stage win for Simon Yates as well, of course. They will have Jonas Vingegaard, who will be second as well on the overall podium. So, second overall, but they did pick up the victory, of course, when it came to the Giro d'Italia for Simon Yates. So, it's been a good season so far, and, well, they tried everything they could. They have the winner for Paris-Nice in Matteo Jorgensen.
Et bien voilà l'équipe Visma-Lease Bike, meilleure équipe de ce Tour de France avec une belle victoire finale sur les champs, donc alors que Campenars est en train de montrer qu'il en a encore dans les biceps, même après 3382 km 200. Et bien voilà le cri de guerre de Visma-Lease Bike et les applaudissements du public.
So some consolation for them as the best team.
Voilà, et merci beaucoup donc à Erika van Vonderenhan pour Basic Fit et à David Lapartien, le président de
Jonas Vingegaard, Eduardo Affini, Tish Benoot, Victor Campenaerts, Matteo Jorgensen, Sepp Kuss, Wout van Aert and Simon Yates. The group who managed to produce that best team effort, even though when it came to the overall, second was the best that they could really achieve.
Voilà, dans quelques minutes, les différents tableaux d'honneur concernant les maillots de leader. On aura bien sûr du maillot blanc, du maillot à pois, du maillot vert, du maillot jaune. Avant notre tableau, vous savez que le tableau final, évidemment, sur ce podium protocolaire, face donc à cet arc de triomphe, c'est toujours un moment très important relayé dans le monde entier. Je me tourne du côté de Nicolas pour savoir si nous avons des infos concernant le prochain tableau. On attaquera donc, je le disais, les maillots distinctifs.
And there is the confirmation of them coming home 24 minutes and 26 seconds ahead of UAE team Emirates XRG. That is a very, very close margin. Well, now a wonderful little piece of history. Florian Leibowitz of the Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe team, a former biathlete who only turned to cycling as summer exercise. He's been building over the last few years. In 2024, he finished third at the Tour de Romandie. He rode for Primož Roglic at the Vuelta last year and he caught the eye. He was second in the young riders category there and seventh overall. This season, second at Paris-Nice and winner of the young riders category, third at the Criterium de Dauphiné with the same podium we see at the Tour de France. But here, for the first time since 1998, there is a German winning the white jersey at the Tour de France. He succeeds Jan Ullrich, who won 3 in a row in 96, 97 and 98, and of course won the title itself in 97. Florian Leibowitz reopens Germany's love affair with cycling.
Et bien voilà donc Florian Leibowitz, on l'applaudit de nouveau au moment où il lève son trophée et son bouquet en présence de l'hôtel-hôtesse, des opticiens audioprothésistes Chris, ravi bien sûr de féliciter ce jeune champion allemand. Et oui, il a terminé 3e du Critérium du Dauphiné, 3e
So just 3 more jerseys.
C'est une valeur émergente du cyclisme international. L'Allemagne est de retour dans le peloton cycliste professionnel. Bravo Florian Leibowitz.
To secure that position of winner of the white jersey, the youth classification, and a third place in the general classification, which means we'll see more of Florian Leibowitz later on during the official podium presentation.
Voilà, et salutations à Francesco Moser qui n'a pas changé effectivement au niveau de la morphologie. Mesdames, messieurs, dans quelques instants, remise du maillot au poids de meilleur grimpeur, parrainé par les Centres Leclerc.
So we turn to one of the iconic jerseys of the Tour de France, the maillot à pois. And for the third time in his career, Tadej Pogačar wins both the polka dot jersey and the yellow jersey as well. He won it in 2020 and 2021 when he won his first 2 titles at the Tour de France. Richard Carapaz won last year. Others who doubled up with the mountains classification and the GC, the likes of Bartoli, Mais, Coppi, Baumontes, Merckx, Sastre and Froome. Picked up his first real points at the Mur Bretagne, then there was the Haut-de-Cam, the Périgord, and then second and third place finishes in the Alps. All good enough for Tadej Pogačar to build up an unassailable lead in the polka dots. And he will be back, of course, and that is his average speed when climbing Côte de la Butte Montmartre.
terminé par Skolo.
And there is confirmation of Tadej Pogacar's victory over Jonas Vingegaard as Jonathan Milan begins his walk towards the stage. Italian, 24 years of age, stands at 1.93 m. He's pretty tall for a cyclist. A couple of stage wins. The stage from Saint-Main-le-Grand to Laval-Espèce-Mayenne and the win at Bolène to Valence. It is his debut at the Tour, and in the end he has done so well to hold on to that points jersey. Two-time points classification winner at the Giro d'Italia, with 4 Giro d'Italia stages in 2023 and 2024. He was third at Gent-Wevelgem this year. He was, of course, a gold medalist at the Olympics in Tokyo with Filippo Ganna, Simone Consoni and Francesco Lamon. So he has success on the track as well as here on the road. But this, the biggest moment in his cycling career so far. Let's hear from him.